I was raised in Goochland. I was born actually right next to the courthouse a long time ago. Went to high school here in Goochland, went to Virginia Tech to college, and after I went in the Navy and gained a little more experience and came back, I saw a need in the community that obviously had existed for a long, long time. Having been raised here, I was very familiar with the disparity in income in the county. I could relate to a lot of those folks because back then, I mean, I was raised in a house with no heat and no indoor plumbing, which was fairly routine back then in a very rural county like this. It's still very prevalent in the upper end of the county. It hasn't changed that much. People need help, and I don't mind helping if I can. There was a man whose house burned, and one of the ladies said we need to replace the roof. Well, we took the roof off, and the walls fell in, so we actually built a very small house back before Habitat started here in Goochland. After that, I got involved with Habitat, and we've built 20 houses here in the county since then. I don't remember exactly when I got involved with Family Services. I initially started out helping lay out a polo field that was a big fundraiser back then, and then gradually merged over into building handicap ramps and home repairs. And there were 2 old apartments in the Goochland Family Services area that had gone basically untouched for a number of years as far as interior work and all. We took on the task of renovating those to an extent and getting them livable, and they're now used by Goochland Family Services for domestic violence victims and stuff. And I think Sally will attest they've pretty much been full-time occupied since they were done.
Our goal is to keep people from being homeless, and that's what we have the emergency apartments for. So we have no hotels or low-income, high-density housing in Goochland. These apartments are really the only resource that people have. And Knight, we call it the Night Owl. It's named in his honor because of his work with it. And Knight really spearheaded that effort to get those apartments to be livable and to be usable for our clients.
It just grew from there. And we, through our Rotary Club now, we are also heavily involved in delivering wood to needy folks in the upper end of the county. We've delivered, I think, about 140 truckloads already this year. But it keeps you out of the bars, you know.
Our organization partners with the Rotary Firewood Project. It is a Knight Bowles project. There are a couple people who are involved, but Knight spearheads that and has spearheaded Habitat in the community for years, and our home repair program really came out of Knight's leadership.
A World War II veteran needed some wood, and I went up there right just before Christmas. I think it was 23rd or so. He was living in a trailer with an addition on it. And when I opened the front door, there was snow in the room he was in, and I looked on the roof. There was a hole in the roof, probably as big around as a hula hoop. We went up the next day and actually put a temporary fix on it, then rebuilt the roof for him. We had a retiree group, I guess you'd call them, of about 8 or 10 guys about my age. A couple of them were ex-contractors, and we did extensive home repairs for Goochland Family Services and free clinic. That went on for several years. Roofing repairs, bathroom repairs, mostly labor intensive, not a whole lot of cost involved in a lot of it if you take a labor out, and we were able to save the community quite a bit of money there for a while, but we're aging out, quite frankly. We're looking for replacements, and it's hard to find people that are retired and have the time to spend. You know, you tend to slow down a little bit as you get into upper 70s and 80s.
Knight had the vision and the leadership to bring all of the housing services in Goochland under one roof. Our critical home repair program, our IPR program, our emergency housing, were all now under the same organization, and that was really through Knight's leadership.
The free clinic and family services merged, and for a while we probably looked at 10 houses a month and probably repaired 10 houses a month. Got a call one time from an elderly guy who was blind who wanted his well house reconstructed so his cat wouldn't fall in. So I went up and built a well house. He had a string that came out of the back door of his house. He had no indoor plumbing and lived in a real old house. We did a lot of work in the kitchen and the bedrooms and trying to make it a little more livable. We also carried tons of wood up there every winter to try to keep him warm. And I think this is a state program that has been around for a while called the Indoor Plumbing and Rehab. Family Services took it on, and we've built, I think, 7 IPR houses in the county at this point, and one was for this guy. That's the type of thing we've been doing for the last 15 years or so. This is a long time ago. This is about 10 years ago. Social Services put us on to this guy. He was living in a small house that had no indoor plumbing. We initially were going to clean his chimney out so the smoke wouldn't go in the house. Well, that turned out to be quite a job because we went up there to clean the chimney out and we couldn't even get a pipe down through it. We ended up going back and putting almost an auger down the chimney. Turned out there was a stick of wood up in the chimney completely blocking it. I don't know how it got in there, but that was the first thing we did. And then we actually built a bathroom in that house and did indoor plumbing and heat. That was done mostly by church members here at Bird Church. We've had several very rewarding jobs like that you know, kind of stick in your mind.
Knight is a Rotarian, and Rotary's motto is service above self. And I think that absolutely describes Knight Bowles. He really embodies the spirit of volunteerism and giving back to the community.
Habitat's not completely free. It's interest free and very low cost, but they do have to have income, sufficient income to pay a small mortgage. Another girl applied for Habitat House several years, and she was disabled. She didn't have enough income, and church gave her a no-interest loan. We used a lot of the Habitat volunteers and built a nice little 2-bedroom house for her, and she paid it off in about 3 or 4 years, so she's living in a house completely mortgage-free at this point. You know, things like that are very rewarding.
Knight works for chocolate. That's how we think we keep in Knight's good graces, but I expect it really comes from inside. It's not all about the chocolate, but it's always been a joy to work with Knight and see how he can bring the community together to address a need and how compassionate he is for everybody in the community.
I get phone calls all the time from people where we've done work or delivered wood to, or something that want something else done. But some of it I can do, some of it I can't. But we'll give it a try or find somebody that hopefully can do it.
We were all drawing short straws to tell him that he got this award because we knew that he would be, he's not about promoting himself at all. We knew that he would be like, really? You're going to make me get up and accept an award for what is just my second nature. And he does not do it for public acclaim or recognition. He does it because it's who he is. And I think for our community, he just embodies the Goochland community and what being a community member means.
It probably takes at least half my time in the last 10 years. Again, we've slowed down a little bit on that end of it, but it's rewarding in its own way to be thanked and know you made an impact.